All right, SuperCharge Food's going to supercharge your WIAA football wrap-up as we are through week number 5 right now. Believe it or not, 56% of the schedule is done for the regular season. That's my quick math.
All right, look at that. Thanks for doing it for us.
Along with Eric Rogers, I'm Rich Reynolds. Let's talk some high school football, and we will start in the Big 8 Conference. And congratulations to Jeremy Thornton, Madison East. They get a win. It is the first for Thornton as a head coach at Madison East High School, and he has been so positive in trying to build this program. I love the fact that we get to see him right up at the top there with a win over Parker.
Yeah, for a guy who graduated from that school and came back and coached there, and now the positivity has got to, maybe carry forward a little bit. They do snap a 17-game losing streak, that 32-14 win over Parker. Davion Clay, we saw him earlier in the season. 30 carries, 148 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the ground. So this guy is certainly a player to watch for them and maybe an emerging star. 307 total rushing yards for East. The Pergolder scored 26 consecutive second-half points to win that game. So, for sure, definitely something to hang your hat on.
Absolutely. And speaking of teams that we have seen, the Verona Wildcats that we saw, and I thought it was a very good football team. They take on another very good football team in the Sun Prairie Cardinals. Verona comes up a little bit short in this one. The Sun Prairie, after that week 1 loss to Memorial, that was a close one there, has now rattled off 4 wins in a row.
Yeah, Coach Kaminsky for Sun Prairie I was reading some articles about him and his reaction after the game, like, well, I didn't expect it to be this high scoring. I thought it was going to be one of those low scoring kind of grinded out games. Ended up being an offensive shootout. Sun Prairie, where's my notes? 521 yards of offense, 24 first downs in that game. So definitely a shootout type of game. So they have the ability to put points on the board. So watch out for both of those teams throughout the rest of the season, because they're obviously going to be contending for the Big 8 conference title, but then also any given time they can air it out.
Absolutely. We've already gone a couple of minutes into this report, and we haven't mentioned the team that's at the top of the conference all alone, 5-0. How about Madison Memorial and what they've been doing?
A big surprise for sure. You get Coach Mike Harris coming in, and not a rah-rah type of guy, but the message has definitely been received, and the players are playing for him, playing their hearts out, 5-0, winning that city championship and getting that title back. So definitely, obviously clinching that playoff spot and now sitting there looking pretty. And obviously you don't want to lose any more games going into the rest of the season, but you feel good about your standing and maybe start expanding the playbook a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to the Spartans on that one. We go now and shift our focus to the Badger North. That's where, we were in the Badger Conference this week, but we'll get to that game in the Badger South. But how about in the North right here? We're taking a look at Mount Horeb-Barneveld, another team that's been playing pretty good. The only blemish on their record is one hot team against Wanakee that they ended up losing to.
Yeah, so Mount Horeb-Barneveld, a great offense in their own right. They had a field goal with 8:58 to play to give the Vikings their first lead of the game, so they were playing from behind for most of that. They quarterback had 253 yards, 3 touchdowns. Malik Winston had one of those scores, had a 71-yard reception in that one. So a running back who can definitely be a receiving threat as well.
Yeah, and so speaking of Wanakee, holy cow, 70 they end up hanging on Portage.
250-20 is their scoring margin this year. So watch out for them. If there's any chance of winning that game, you're going to have to put up a lot of points, and your defense is going to have to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, that is crazy. So the Wanakee Warriors just continue to roll on. DeForest with a win. They're now 3-2 as they beat Sauk Prairie. Also take a look at what was a pretty shocking score to me. Yeah, even though Reedsburg's 4-1, 38-0 over Beaver Dam. Wow. So they're doing a good job up there.
Yeah, welcome to Badger North.
Yeah, exactly. So over to the Badger South we go. And right up the top here, you see Watertown with a win over Edgewood. They are now 4-1. A team we're going to get a chance to see next week is Stoughton, as they snuck by Monroe. Stoughton now 5-0, but only a 1-touchdown win over the Cheesemakers.
Yeah, the Cheesemakers are going to be obviously feeling pretty good about that one. You would have liked to get the win, but you feel pretty good you hung in there with Stoughton, a tough team. They're going to MG next week, and that's going to be a tough one for them as well. We'll talk about that game in a moment, what MG did. But then, we see Stoughton taking on Oregon this next week, so we'll be covering that game. So Oregon getting the win over Milton, and they should feel pretty good too, because that's always a good game. They play each other tough, Oregon and Stoughton do.
And that was an important game for both Oregon and Milton. Both teams were hanging at 2-2. Oregon gets the win. Now they're on the plus side. That'll be a big game that we're going to have right here on 57, and that is going to be coming up on Friday night. Stoughton hosting Oregon. You can watch that on Facebook Live and also on our main channel.
Oregon hosting Stoughton, whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Oregon hosting Stoughton. There you go. So then we also have our game that we did this past week, Monona Grove against Fort. I mean, it kind of went as expected, but I got to say, being in that environment, watching that Silver Eagle team play, that's a good football team right there.
Pretty well-rounded, if you ask me. And Fort Atkinson themselves, it's not like they played a bad game. They were just outmatched, and it was just sometimes when you have that kind of output of power that Monona Grove has, that you're just not going to be able to win those games. Jordan Bishop, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. 5 different Silver Eagles scored a touchdown in that game. Fort Atkinson did win the turnover battle, though.
Oh, there you go. So there was the bright light in there, but yeah, the Silver Eagles got lots of different ways that they can beat you, and so it was good for them to be back on 57. We were happy to bring you that game. So we're in the Badger South once again. Big game next week, Stoughton at Oregon. So be cool to see you there.
Homecoming.
Yeah, excellent. So for Eric Rogers, I'm Rich Reynolds, and for SuperCharge Foods, this is your WIAA football wrap-up.